News Review from BBC Learning English. Hello and welcome to News Review, the programme where we show you how to use the language from the latest news stories in your everyday English. Hi, I'm Neil. Joining me today is Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hello.
So, what's our story?
Our story is about an extremely high-profile meeting.
I wonder what that could be. Let's find out some more from this BBC World Service News Bulletin.
President Trump and Kim Jong-un have signed a joint agreement after their unprecedented talks in Singapore. Mr. Trump said he was very proud of what had been achieved. Mr. Kim said the world will see a major change. Copies of the document are about to be distributed to the press. The United States has been insisting on complete, verifiable and irreversible denuclearization of North Korea.
So, President Trump, the leader of the United States of America, and Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, have met to have talks in Singapore. Now, at the time of this recording, we're not sure exactly what they've been talking about, but a joint agreement has been signed, and both leaders have had positive things to say about the meeting.
OK, well, you've been looking around at this story. You found 3 words and expressions that you can use to talk about it. What are they?
We have alpha, showdown, and double-edged sword.
OK, alpha, showdown, and double-edged sword. Your first headline, please, Dan, with alpha.
Right. The Hindustan Times says, the Kim-Trump handshake, alpha male tone, but body language shows some nerves.
OK, alpha, meaning strong, powerful, in charge. Now, it doesn't take long, Dan, but I'm confused. I thought alpha was the first letter of the Greek alphabet.
Alpha is the first letter of
So
Greek.
why are we talking about it today?
Because alpha signifies the first and most important thing. Now, this is an adjective, and it's often used in connection with the animal world. So, an alpha animal is the most powerful, the most dominant, or the strongest. We might talk about an alpha male in a troop of gorillas. He's the largest, the biggest. He gets the food first, and he gets access to all the females.
So, we often use it talking about humans as well.
Exactly. It can be used to talk about personalities of humans. You'll quite commonly hear the compound noun, alpha male, although we can also have alpha female, so alpha personalities. And that would be the person who dominates other people with their personality, even if they're not necessarily the leader of that organization. It's a style of characteristic, and you may see a lot of alphas in the world of politics.
Of course, because politics is all about power.
That's right.
OK, shall we have a look at our next headline?
Certainly. Our next headline comes from The Sun and says, what's really going on in Trump's head ahead of his showdown with Kim Jong-un, and why his brash showmanship will appeal to the North Korean tyrant.
OK, very long headline there, but the word showdown meaning final, decisive fight or argument.
That's right. So a showdown is the final confrontation to end a fight or argument for good. We want to settle whatever the dispute may be. And actually, it comes from playing cards. Do you play poker, Neil?
I don't, but I have.
Okay, so you're familiar with the concept that poker is based on bluffing. You hide your cards from your opponent and you try to make them believe you have a stronger hand than you actually have, until the last moment when you put the cards down on the table and show your opponent. This is the showdown. So you can see exactly what your opponent has, they can see what you've got, and so the argument, the game between you, is ended. And so we have a resolution.
And so other contexts when this can be used?
Well, so it's very, very common in compound nouns. We might talk about a military showdown or something that's happening later this week.
Ah, yes. OK, the World Cup is the ultimate football showdown.
Exactly, a football showdown. However, if you want to use it in a verb phrase, we would say have a showdown with somebody over something, much like Key and I yesterday.
Oh, yes.
We had a showdown, or I had a showdown with Key over the greatest number of keepy-uppies.
So you were juggling the football with your feet in the park for fun.
That's right.
And what was the result of that showdown?
It turns out that Key's better than I am.
OK. South Korea 1, England 0.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at our final headline.
All right. Our final headline comes from The Australian and says, investing in North Korea, for Kim, economic opening is a double-edged sword.
A double-edged sword, a situation with advantages and disadvantages.
Exactly. Now, are you familiar with the concept of a sword, Neil?
I am. A sword is a long piece of metal. It's sharp on one side and the other side is blunt, so you don't hurt yourself.
Well,
Right?
that is certainly the idea behind many swords, but not all of them. The English broadsword, for example, is sharp on two sides. What's the problem there?
Well, you could hurt yourself.
Exactly, and this is the point or the meaning behind this well-used and well-known idiom. A double-edged sword describes a situation or a decision which has both good and bad at the same time, advantages and disadvantages. And we talk about something being or is a double-edged sword. For example, chocolate is a double-edged sword because on the advantage or on the good side, we quite enjoy it. I enjoy eating chocolate.
Delicious.
It's delicious. It's wonderful. But on the bad side, the disadvantage would be
Your teeth will fall out.
your teeth will fall out. Exactly. You'll put on a
eat
lot
too
of
much.
weight or something like that. Same thing can be said for alcohol. You may have a very nice time on it, but in the morning, you might not feel so hot. So alcohol or chocolate are double-edged swords.
Okay, we will have a recap of our vocabulary, of course, but before that, we have our social media challenge, and we ask this question. If something is irreversible, it A, can't move backwards, B, can't return to its previous state, or C, can't be seen again. What was the reaction to that, Dan?
Well, we had a good mix of answers. I saw a few A's, but most people got the question, correct, and the answer is B. If something is irreversible, it can't return to its previous state. So, on Instagram, well done Ramenzi. On Facebook, well done Priscilla Uliam. And on Twitter, well done Calbert Santeyan. Very good.
Yes, well done to all of those people. And we have now the recap of our vocabulary.
That's right. So first we had alpha, strong, powerful, in charge. Then showdown, final, decisive fight or argument. And finally, double-edged sword, situation with advantages and disadvantages.
Well, there are no disadvantages to watching News Review, are there? So if you would like to test yourself on today's vocabulary, there's a quiz you can take on our website. That's bbclearningenglish.com, where you can find all kinds of other things, videos, audio programs, quizzes, activities to help you improve your English. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
News Review from BBC Learning English.